Welcome to the whatever.
The Ride or Die podcast.
Yeah.
Say it.
The Ride or Die podcast.
So, ladies and gentlemen, this is one of my good friends, Katie Anderson.
Hello. Aww, I appreciate that.
Yeah, this roadcaster has a lot of things I could do, but I never do it because I never take the time. So what we're doing is we got this Icebreakers deep talk, and me and my buddy Wagon did this the other day. I gotta put my stuff on silent, and it's interesting. I just like to get other people's what's the word I'm looking for? Point of views.
Sure.
On serious questions.
Okay.
Because most people don't like to get serious. And yeah. So I'll let you pick the first card.
Oh gosh.
We got this new one that's a deep talk.
Deep talk.
And this one is like this one was basically for the like date questions. So they're kind of generic.
Okay.
But these one are here. It gets deep.
I like baby steps. So we'll start with the icebreakers here.
Okay. Yeah. Life, random. You got these all scattered differently. Deep, experience, if you would, and would you rather. Dun, 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 dun.
Dun, dun. All right. Would you rather be gossiped about or never talked about at all?
Gossiped about. I feel like I'm gossiped about all the time.
A little bit.
Yeah.
Ben definitely goes, yeah, my buddy Matthew. Oh, yeah, my buddy Matthew. Yeah, have you met my buddy Matthew? Every other day.
Yeah, I miss that guy. I'm sad that he's in Vegas right now.
Yeah, no, I'm not.
No?
I got quite a lot of drunk pics last night.
Yeah.
And what they were doing, I was just like, ooh, you're going to have a hangover.
Yeah.
It's going to be great.
Hangovers are fun, though.
Not really.
Oh, last Thursday, I was, me and Wagon went out, and the next morning, I got up and prayed the rosary. I don't know how I did. Mm-hmm. But then around noon, I started throwing up.
Oh.
And I'm just like, oh my God, why?
I literally this morning I got a text from him and he goes, so I think I drank too much. And I was like, okay. And he goes, yeah, I think I threw up and I ate pizza and then I passed out in a jacuzzi.
Nice.
Like, oh, so you're doing Vegas right.
Yeah, right? He's enjoying himself. Good. Okay, would you rather be gossiped about or not talked about at all?
Oh, I kind of feel like I gotta go with you. Probably be gossiped about.
Yeah, because you're making an impact on people's lives. Good
good
or bad. Yeah,
at least someone's talking about me.
Yeah, exactly. Ooh, I just had weird deja vu. Oh, interesting.
Explain.
No, just this image, like the wall, you, the table. Just a little moment right there. I just got weird deja vu.
Jail beers?
No, like just this.
Just
Just
Okay,
this.
okay.
Super weird. Okay, we'll.
So you obviously know what's going to happen next, is what you're saying.
No, I don't. I have zero. It's just I've seen this before. It's one of those moments.
Okay.
It's kind of cool. I like it. So we'll do experience.
Experience.
Oh, interesting. So this was said on my last podcast, and I decided not to answer it, but I'll answer it this time. What is the best thing about the opposite gender?
The best thing about the opposite gender. All right, I'm gonna be that person. Height. He can get this stuff off the top shelf for me.
Yeah, because you're 5'2". We just talked about that. Yeah, you're really short.
And there's very much moments where he's like totally in the zone, magic, video game or something, and I'm in the kitchen. I'm like, Ben, can you get that?
Yeah, that's funny. I would have to say a voice, a female's voice. If it's, I don't know. I just like, how do I say it? So I work all the time. Mm-hmm. I'm always gone. Like I love my daughter's voice. Like past girlfriends, like it was always nice to get a call and hear their voice. So that's something I need to be attracted to.
So there's a fun study on attraction and then opposite gender. Mm-hmm. And it came down to men typically can hear like an influx in a female's voice. Like they're super in tune to that. And like certain like tones like are really attractive. And then for women, it's scent.
Yeah.
And like
I believe
women,
that.
yeah, and women can sense like so like your brothers and your uncle and like your dad's sweat is like super repelling.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas like someone with like different genes
Yeah,
or
yeah,
like
yeah.
smells really attractive to you.
Yeah.
And like men can hear like the pitches of like, and this is going to sound like really weird, but like when women are more fertile and the difference in that. And so maybe it has something to do with that.
Maybe.
Maybe.
Hey, lay down. Hey, go lay down.
He's just so excited.
Oh,
I'm
is.
here.
Yeah. He's going to knock over that camera. Whatever.
Probably.
All right, next one.
All right. Should we go in deep?
Sure.
Should we go in deep? All right. So what do we got here? Self-awareness. We'll do courage. That sounds good. All right. What negative trait do you publicly laugh about but secretly know you have to fix?
That I don't care. I have this. When things happen to me, I just give that. You know what? Whatever. I don't care. Like, and it's not healthy, right? If you care about something, deal with it. That's me. Yeah. So, what about you?
For me, I know I have a bit of a short temper sometimes. So when people are talking a lot for a story, I'm like, okay, get to the point. But I do that too.
Right.
So I'm just like, oh, Katie, don't do that. That's your pet peeve. Don't put other people through it.
Yeah, that's funny. That's actually really funny. What do we got here?
Hey, buddy.
Exposed.
Oh, gosh.
Interesting. When did a guardian angel show up in your life? Oh, interesting.
Oh, guardian angel. See, I feel like I don't know if I have a story, but I know my family does.
No, tell it.
So on my mom's side of the family, my mom is like the second youngest of 5. And so her oldest brother, Dave, Uncle Dave to me, drafted in Vietnam. And they were recruiting for Green Berets, but he had kind of like typing, technical skills, secretarial skills, kind of that. And so he was like, you know what? No, I got this offer to over here, more like administrative work. And luckily he took that because the group that he would have been in for the Green Berets, they were all wiped out.
Oh, no shit.
Yeah. And so that was like the first instinct. And then it was they were leaving Vietnam, like they're packing bags. And he had become real good buddies with some of like the upper officers.
Yeah, upper management.
All,
like that.
And so they're like, oh, Dave, you're leaving, right? And he's like, yeah, I'm actually, this is my plane. I'm about to head out. They're like, you know what? Stay with us. Have a drink with us. Come celebrate. You can hitch the next flight home next morning. And he was like, sure, I'll do that. So he stays that night, drinking, eating, good food, everything. Next morning, they find out the plane that he was supposed to be on crashes in the middle of the ocean.
No way.
Yeah. So the family always says, like, if there was ever a moment of a guardian angel, they were looking after Dave.
Yeah.
Through that whole thing. And so, like, that's my guardian angel story.
Really?
Yeah.
So I got a couple. I'll tell a less. Maybe it's interesting. So I was in Thailand. I went there for jiu-jitsu, Craig Jones seminar.
Super jealous of you by that.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. And but I got a bunch of us got food poisoning because note to self: when you go to tropical islands, don't eat off the buffet.
I'm gonna make that note.
Yeah,
okay.
don't eat off the buffet. So I ended up getting food poisoning, and I sat around and vomited and everything else for like 12 hours. I was miserable. Well, I decided to look at my flight plan. I realized I thought I left in like 18 hours. Well,
Okay.
I actually left in 6 hours.
Oh.
When I looked at that. So I was like, if I didn't get sick, I would never took the time to relook at it, and I'd probably been stuck in Thailand and had to buy another ticket home. It could have been bad. Could have. So that's one of my guardian angel moments. So, all right, next.
All right. I kind of like the deeper ones. So.
Yeah, deep ones, they get really intense though.
They do.
I went through like all of them and tossed out the junk questions. Like one of these questions the other day where do you want to win a Grammy or Oscar? I'm pretty sure that's music and
Movies,
theater, right?
Yeah.
And I was like, that's who cares, right?
It's an award show.
Yep.
You get an award. So, okay, we're going to go life lessons. All right. What do you know about life that few others have figured out yet?
Mistakes are good.
I was going to say the same thing.
Yeah. it's you don't grow unless you make mistakes.
No, yep. And that's why I always laugh at myself when I make mistakes because I'm like, oh, life lesson.
Yep.
I won't do that
Yep.
again.
Yep. You know, some mistakes are easy, some mistakes are hard, but
Oh, yeah.
and some people choose to learn from them, but other people choose
To not.
yeah, just ignore it. Like, oh, my life is so horrible. All these bad things happen to me. Well, bad things happen to me too, but
Yeah.
I learned from 'em.
Oh, yeah. And a lot of times I'm just like, okay, I need to get away from you because I'm going to have issues.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Like
All right.
adjusting my mic and I keep coming in and out. So hopefully this will be better.
When it comes back on the audio, it's not that bad. You really can't tell that much unless you're like way far away.
Oh.
Yeah. So let's go beliefs.
Oh, beliefs.
Ooh, what do you think the meaning of life is?
To live. The meaning of life is to live. I feel like a lot of people.
So can I stop you right there?
Yeah.
What's the definition of living?
Like living your life to the fullest. No regrets.
Okay.
Because like too many times we hear the stories, I shoulda, I coulda, I woulda later on in life. And I'm just like, at this point, I'm just like, I don't want to be afraid to go do something new. Like, especially with jujitsu, that has like been like the biggest lesson that I've learned. Cause I would drive to the gym, sit in my car, get so anxious, get so worried, didn't know who I was going to partner with, freaking out about getting smothered, and I would drive away.
Oh no, really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it was actually kind of funny because just on Wednesday, Marissa and we were talking about that because we were just like, oh yeah, we've been a lot more consistent lately ever since COVID. And it was because during that you had to pick come up with a partner and having that anxiety go away. Like, oh, well, I already know who I'm partnering with because we had to come up with that before we come to class.
Yeah.
And I was like, once we got into that groove, I just realized I was like, Jesus, like this is the greatest thing ever. Why was I being so afraid to do this? Why was I not living it?
Yeah.
And that has kind of become my slight philosophy at this point. Is like live life to your fullest and don't have regrets. Do it. Even if you're scared, do it.
Yeah. Yep. My meaning of life is to serve people.
Oh.
Right. Because the most gratitude I've ever got in my life is doing things for others. Like you can do stuff for yourself all you want, right? You can have all the money in the world. You can have no money in the world.
True.
And it doesn't matter because unless you're fulfilling other people, because that's what fulfills most people, at least, right? Helping other people, enjoying other people, just little nonsense. Like today I was driving and I saw this vehicle and it had an anime sticker of Samurai Champloo on it. And I was like, that is so dope. And so I drove like side him, honked my horn, and he rolls out the window, kind of looked at me. I'm like, dude, I love your Samurai Champloo sticker. And he's like, what? Like, it's those little things like that, right? Helping other people or being in service does not mean you need to do things. You just can make their day by
not being afraid to say that was a great sticker,
buddy. Right? It's something so simple. I probably, hopefully I made his day, but I made my day to see his face. He's like, something so random.
Yep, I love that. That's great. All right, you're picking.
I'm picking?
You're picking.
Oh, I thought I picked the meaning of life one.
Oh shoot, you did.
That's on my side.
My bad. All right. Oh my gosh.
Maybe we should just go in order.
Okay, let's do that. Let's do that.
We don't have to look at it.
All right. What do the first 30 minutes of your typical day look like?
Oh, rosary and coffee.
Okay.
Yeah, every day.
Every day?
For the past, 8 months, if I'm at work, it's wake up, make my coffee, pray the rosary. If I'm at home, I wake up, as my coffee's brewing, take the dog out, let him do his thing, feed him, grab my cup, go
Okay.
upstairs, pray my rosary, which usually takes 20 minutes to 30 minutes. Matters how fast I want to pray it, how lazy I am.
Yeah, yours way more productive than mine. My 30 minutes usually typically mean getting up, trying to go to the bathroom, then having to wait for the cats to join me in the bathroom because apparently I cannot go to the bathroom alone.
Yeah. Just wait till you have kids.
Yeah, I'm okay waiting on that part.
Yeah, take your time. Take your time.
And then getting my coffee, feeding the cats, then maybe thinking about getting ready, figuring out my day. And that's about the first 30 minutes.
It sounds like a struggle.
It kind of is because ever since I met Ben, it has been like I used to be up at 5 a.m., go to the gym, get my protein, all of that stuff. And now it's like, snooze, I can sleep in. I can sleep in. Yeah. And we've fallen into the rut of like 5 more minutes. We can do it. 5 more minutes.
It's so easy to say 5 more minutes.
I know.
Yeah.
And we've fallen into that rut. So I'm like, okay, we got to break this soon here. It's going to go bad.
All right. What's your go-to strategy for achieving your goals?
Lately, like I've started journaling a little bit and really like writing down my goals and my why.
Oh yeah, the why. That's important.
Yep. So like with jiu-jitsu, when I started, especially feeling more comfortable and not having the anxiety about it, I was like, all right, my why is this makes me feel good and it makes me feel more confident outside of the gym. So that was my why. And then I broke it down. I was like, all right, eventually I want to be a black belt.
Yep.
So that's the top goal. And then the one after that is I need to catch up to Ben because might as well.
Yep. It's a goal.
It's a goal.
Right.
And then I was like, okay, to catch up to Ben, I need to be like purple belt in like 6 years, which means I need to get my blue belt before I like by I'm 30. And I just broke it down and, knocked one off. So my next one is up. And, and that's kind of how it's been for me.
I like that. So goals are, I feel like there's 5 types of goals people have, or at least I have, right? One I don't have right now, relationships. Second one is social. Next one's family, religion, and what was the other one? Anyways, but I got this little board where, or work, right?
Yeah.
Work. So I got this board, and I got this from Matthew McConaughey, actually. And he had, yeah. And he looks at it. He goes, what am I in debt in? Okay, my social life is pretty good, so I could put that on the bottom. All right, I need to pray a little bit more, so I'll put that a little bit higher. I need to get my father's stuff, so I put that a little higher. And like that's kind of what I do. I look at that in the morning. I'm like, okay, what do I need to do? And I have a little list next to him, or I write on my mirror. The night before, I'll dry erase marker something in my mirror. So when I wake up, look at my ugly mug, I'm like, oh yeah, I need to do that.
You got to put your face on in the morning is what you're saying.
Yeah. Oh, don't we all?
Yeah. Some of us, it takes a little bit longer than others.
Yeah.
Okay. I like that. All right. So we're going red now.
Yep.
Okay. Oh gosh. When you die, what do you want to be remembered for?
I would say just bringing happiness to people. Simple smiles.
Okay. Simple. I
Yeah.
like it.
What else is there?
Yeah, that is true.
Or being first man on Mars. I'm not going to get that one.
Have you joined Space Force yet?
You know what? I tried. I don't have an engineering degree.
Oh, dang it. Ian should do that then, because he has an engineering degree. He's young enough. He's fit enough.
Yeah.
There we go. We need to go talk to Ian.
Yep.
He needs to go join Space Force. Oof. I really a lot lately, I've been thinking about like legacy planning And
What do you mean by legacy planning?
like being able to like leave a charity or a business or something to the family or to like a community that I really
Yep.
care about.
Yep.
And it like it might sound arrogant, like I don't exactly want my name on it, but being able for it to start and then continue on afterwards, just because I was like, you know what, I really I love dogs.
Yep.
Start a charity placing lost animals. I don't know,
Yeah.
but I've been thinking a lot about that lately and trying to decide what it would look like.
Well, when because you want to do a podcast, right? So
Yeah.
when you start doing your podcast, one thing you can do is ask for donations and start one. It could be as simple as that.
Yeah.
Right.
I have been thinking about like if I were to do any like Patreon, that kind of stuff, there'd be a lot of donations going to the backlog, if you've ever heard of that.
Nope. Oh.
Oh gosh, it's really sad. It's I think I would have to check the numbers because I haven't looked at it lately, but there's like 4 million, probably someone can fact check that later, of untested rape kits.
Oh no shit.
Yeah. Untested, like decades worth of rape kits that have not been tested because there's not the funding, there's not the staff, it's not a priority.
That's sick.
Yeah.
Okay, like I know people that's happened to, and
Yep. And it's like, yeah, it's
sad.
sad. It's dark. We won't go there.
Yeah, definitely not. But that's interesting. I kind of wish you didn't tell me that because now
I'm sorry.
like I'm a little bit emotional about that actually.
Oh gosh. Okay. Happy thoughts.
Happy thoughts.
Happy thoughts.
Happy thoughts. All right. Describe a belief you'd still hold on tight, even if someone showed you evidence of the contrary.
Oh gosh.
That one's kind of hard.
That is really hard. Because I feel like it can't be a belief unless you have controversy over it. Like I have doubts that, there's a higher power. There's God.
Yep. That's part of the generic one, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Like to have doubt means that you have a belief.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know.
Yeah. I'll just say God.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, that's simple enough. If you have faith, you have faith. That's why they call it faith, right?
Yeah.
You leave it into someone else's hands.
Yeah.
All right. Now you.
Okay. What is the worst job you've ever had?
Yeah, the one I have right now. I dislike my job so
Really?
much. Oh yeah. The other day I got a text message from my boss asking me if I wanted to switch sides, work 4 weeks, and take a promotion. Text him back. Yep. So I went and called my family, talked to my daughter's mother, say, hey, I got to switch sides, blah this, blah that. Went and bought 2 more weeks of food.
Okay.
And then I come back and they took it away from me.
Oh.
And I'm like, and the one manager went superintendent. Then the guy that took his spot, he wanted me to go too. But it's the manager on the other side that didn't want me to do it. And me and him have a really, really rough relationship.
Okay.
And it's just
Kind of politics.
Yeah.
Oh.
But I'm just so pissed off because I got a text message saying, do you want this? And so I was like, yeah. So me thinking for 2 days or whatever, I'm thinking, yeah, I got a promotion.
Yay, highlight.
Yeah, get a raise, switch sides so I can be on the holiday side because I've been asking to get on that side for a long time.
Getting all your family, all of that
Yep,
coordinated.
spending money on food, and all of a sudden just kick the ladder right out. But it's one of those things, it just gave me more motivation to get out of the oil field,
Okay.
right? Like there's a lot of people in my life, like growing up, like coaches and teachers, they put me down. Friends of parents' friends' parents didn't want their kids hanging out with me, and like
Okay.
workers talking shit about me, bosses not liking. My whole life I've dealt with this, and it's all it has been is just motivation for me just to rise up. Like I'm better than all those people, and I'm not going to sit here and put them down, but that's
you know your worth.
Oh yeah,
and it's
100%.
Yeah. Oh gosh, Can I say I have two?
Absolutely.
Oh, okay.
We can sit here for 3 hours if you want.
So worst job. First worst job. I got a job as a barista.
That's
Coffee maker.
coffee maker.
Yep.
Okay.
All right. So never worked as a barista before. And they're like, oh, don't worry. We'll train you. I got 15 minutes of training. Staff left. I was new. The cook who was there was also new. Didn't know what the menu was. Didn't know how to make the menu.
Oh no.
And we had a like tour bus of like Canadians.
Oh.
And they came. It did not matter what you ordered. You got a latte. Like,
Yeah.
that was all I knew how to make. They were like, I need a caramel macchiato. Da, 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 da. And I was like, yeah.
Yeah.
This is it.
Yeah. I promise.
And it just like, it was downhill. Like it was kind of like a mom and pop type shop. And the owner, they would like schedule last minute, not tell us the schedule. There was a point where like every like person who knew like had seniority, like seasoned workers, however you want to say that, they were all gone. So it was all brand new staff.
Yeah. So bad management, basically.
Pretty much. And then like the tipping point for me for that one was I came in, like the place is a mess. And I'm like, what happened here? And so I'm going around. I'm like, okay, the cook should be in here. Where's the cook? So I messaged her and she goes, listen, the owners, they brought their family over to throw a party. And they ate everything.
No way.
Everything. So she was there until like 2 a.m. prepping all like, it was like sandwiches and soups and pastries, all that. So she stayed till like 2 a.m. restocking everything. She's like, hey, listen, I can't come in. I'm so tired. And I was like, yeah, no, that's fair. You're tired. You should be. You have a right. And then I was like, well, my shift is supposed to be done at, such and such time. And this, like, I was like, I have to go. Like, my grandparents are in town. I really want to see them. And no one is getting back to me. And so I call the owner. I'm like, hey, listen, I'm done at 2. No one is calling me. What's happening? He's like, oh, well, we're in the cities for my son's, not his son. He's like, my brother's son's naming ceremony. And I was like, okay. Didn't know that was happening. He's like, so you'll just have to stay there. And I'm like, no, I like asked for this like months off.
Yeah.
And he's like, well, then you can quit.
You okay?
And I was like, yeah, after this shit show, there was no money in the till. Like,
oh, really?
Like it was like the worst day, absolute worst. I had to like, none of the coffee grounds were done. Like, it was bad.
Yeah.
And I wrote on a piece of paper, like notebook piece of paper, sorry, closing early. Come back tomorrow at such and such time. Like, I stuck it on there, locked the door, threw my keys into the... I just drove away, never looked back.
That's the way I would have did it.
It was awful. Oh, and that was, high school summer job too.
Oh, yeah,
so,
yeah. Especially when you're that young and you're really excited for everything.
Yep, and you, like, when people who are older than you see them as a form of authority, you're just like, wait, I'm not supposed to do that, but I don't want to do that, but you're telling me to do that. Like, you kind of have that conflict going in your head still.
Oh,
slightly.
I never had conflicts growing up.
Oh,
I talked. Like, I said stuff back.
I was very much during that time, I was like, well, you're an authority, like you're my boss, so I'm supposed to follow what you say, but I don't want to, and that's concerning to me going through that whole stage. And then so that was the first one. Second one, I feel like everyone in the planet needs to work at a contact center.
Oh, absolutely not.
Because then you will be nice to the people on the other line when you call into a contact center.
Yep. Yeah, I absolutely believe that. I've got pretty hostile in a sense when calling about whatever, usually credit cards or maybe airplanes, tickets, or hotels. And it's like, some of them are just kind of rude, and it's like, I'll be rude back.
Yeah.
But it's like, they go through it all day.
All day. And like, I had customers, like, when you would hope that when you call into like your bank or your credit card, they're like, hey, can I get your name? Great. I'm going to go through some verification before we can begin to confirm that, whatever they're about to do onto this account.
Yeah. Name, address, social security number, all that stuff.
I don't need to give you my name. I don't know who you are, sir. Well, what do you mean you don't know who I am? I'm a loyal customer for X amount of years, or like just screaming. And I would sit there and be like, I'll forward you on to my manager, sir.
Yep. Hand it off.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
So
I believe that. I believe that'd be rough.
That was rough.
Which one are we on?
Good question. So we just did that one.
Which one's that?
Yeah.
Okay, so we got one of the deeper ones. When was the last time you took a leap of faith and found out you could fly?
Found out I could fly. Let's see. I'm going to be real tacky. Honestly, it was when I joined ACA.
Yeah?
Yeah. Because at the time, I was doing a lot of running. I, just graduated from college. So I didn't have, my gym membership for there or anything. And I was, kind of interested. I was like, oh, kickboxing is supposed to help with cardio for, winter and stuff. But, again, female stigma, kind of afraid.
Yep.
And so I was finally just said it. I was actually on a run with Sarah, now that I think about this. And I was we were running around the area where the gym is at. I was I think this is the gym that I heard a couple of my friends talking about. She goes, okay. I'm I'm going to stop in. Can I stop in? Can we just make a detour? And she goes, okay. So I come in and I'm do you have a kickboxing class, a women's class? And I'm oh yeah. Signed up.
Is this when it was on Main?
No, this was current location.
Okay.
Yep. Because my dad's office, he used to work for Northern Technologies, so we had actually parked our cars there, and that's half a block from.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, took the kind of was I'm doing it.
Yeah.
Signed up right then and there, and long road, but it's been definitely probably the best thing for me.
Yeah, very rewarding. I love that place so much. Mine was starting a business, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and I got this laser engraver, and I did some challenge coins, and I posted on my website.
I saw those. Those look so cool.
Yeah. Someone from the ACA actually is hey, can I get 4 of them? I'm yep. I just gotta order the coins. Then I got a couple of emails, and someone wants 5, and then this other dude, he wants 20, and I'm just I made the right decision to invest in this little laser I got over there. And,
oh gosh.
I'm really excited, but now I just gotta, I told him hey, I gotta get the coins. Let's do 20 of them, and then when he sends me the stuff, I'll get a little I'll send him the design if he likes it. Start
going,
zapping them out, and then with Cerakote, I Cerakote guns and some other stuff, but I found out that I need some stuff with the ATF and whatnot. So right now I got that a little bit of a hold.
Okay.
So I'm waiting for get that in, and once I get all that in, it's just I'm just running.
Running.
Yeah, I've literally got about 6 emails in the last 2 weeks of people wanting stuff done.
Oh, that's so good.
I know. So, but it's gonna take me 2 months just to get my FFL.
Yeah.
FFL is a federal firearms license. So basically it's legal for me to mess with their guns, and it's legal for me to hold on to their guns, because if I can't hold on to other people's property overnight firearms wise.
Yeah. Okay.
So yeah, I'll be patient, see where it goes.
I was gonna say, because I loved that leopard print one you did.
Yeah. Oh,
that's so good. And then the rose gold one I saw.
The rose gold one.
Yeah, it was kind of pinkish, metallic-y.
Oh yeah. The pink lock.
Yeah. That looked really pretty.
Yeah, that is. I got a lot of compliments on that too. And actually, the funny thing about the leopard print one, I screwed up.
No. What?
Yeah, I screwed up. I ordered the paint, the coating he wanted, and it came in. I looked at it. I'm man, this doesn't look right. And I look at the label. I'm well, it's the same one, but the only difference was, instead of the trademark logo, there was that R logo. What does the R stand for? I forget. But anyways, the circle with the TM and the circle with the R next to the logo, and that was the only difference. And it came out the wrong color, and he thought it was gonna be 3 colors, but it was only 2 colors. And I gave it to him, and he's like, oh, yeah, I like it. And he's like, kind of like one of those, I like it. I'm like, dang it. Like, dang it. Whatever. Like, okay. So then I was like, well, do I send him a review text? I'm like, you know what? Yeah, send him a review text because you're going to make mistakes.
Yep.
And I don't want everybody to look at my store, my Google store, and says, oh, this guy's 100% 5 stars. That's just not real. Mm-hmm. So I sent it to him anyways, and he gave me 5-star review.
Oh.
So, yeah, I thought that was pretty dope.
Had you not told me it was supposed to be 3 colors instead of 2, I was like, that was
really
cute.
Yeah. No, everybody, a lot of girls just like, heart emojis and all that stuff. Like everybody really liked it. So
don't kid yourself. I will be really girly girl.
Yeah. I actually had another girl email me to do her slide on her Ruger, but pink and black leopard skin.
Oh.
And that I can do that because
Okay.
the slide is not part of the handgun, the serialized handgun. The handgun is basically just a frame.
Okay.
Where the trigger assembly is.
Yep.
So legally I can do that and hold on to it and whatnot. So
that'll be cool.
Yep. Next time I'm home, I think she's from Grand Forks, so we'll meet up and I'll take that and it'll be a little
Side project.
Yep. That's all this is. So
That's so cool.
was that mine or yours?
I think we're on.
Yeah, we're on the greens.
On the greens. If you could solve one world problem, what would it be?
Easy. Hatred.
Yeah, that's a good one. I kind of want to go for hunger. It's really
But
cliche.
if you solved hatred,
that is true. If you solve hatred, then everyone would.
I win.
Yeah, you do.
Yep.
I'll give you that one. That was a good one. I feel like you've had practice with some of these.
Maybe not that one, but I kind of did. What was the last big thing you lied about? I don't think we can do that one.
No.
I don't really lie, but that's too personal. Mm-hmm. We'll try another one. What's your instinctive?
Instinctive?
Yeah, there we go. Instinctive reaction when someone hurts you.
Ooh, instinctive. If someone hurts me, well,
And I'm assuming this is emotional, not physical.
yeah, I'm gonna say emotional because if it was physical, something else bad is probably happening.
Yeah, right.
Emotional. I get sad, to be quite honest. Like my dad and I, we argue. Like
Your family.
it's
Yeah.
family. We argue, and he'll get mad, and I'll get mad, and we'll be arguing. And like my instinct, I'm like, okay, I'm hurt. Like even though I'm super angry, it's just to cry.
Yeah.
And then he goes, he's like, oh, why are you crying? And I'm like, I just can't stop crying.
Yep.
And so usually when I feel like emotionally get hurt, it's just I get sad and I just start crying. I like can't help it.
Yep.
I don't know what it is, but that's
life.
yeah.
Yeah. See, I cry a lot, and it's usually involving my daughter.
Mm-hmm.
But when people hurt me, so I either get very stubborn.
Double down on it.
Oh yeah, or I'll just walk away. Right, like you're not worth my time.
Yep.
The stubbornness one I really got to work on because that boss I told you about that doesn't want to get. So one time he chewed my ass in the safety meeting from my understanding was not merited. Like everybody's like, what is going on here? And anyways, basically he was mad about me saying stuff over the radio. So he basically threatened my job and a couple other things. And I was like, well, you know what, mother effer, if you don't want me on the radio, I'm not going to carry radio. So that day, I went up to my doghouse where my boss is. I took the radio and I said, I don't got this today. And all day long, I felt really bad for my boss, my driller, because every time he needed something from me, he'd call me over the radio and he's like, oh, fuck. And he's like, hey, so-and-so, go find Marsh and tell him this. But I had to prove a point. Like, I'm not going to sit here and take unmerited beatings from this dude. And actually another thing, I actually told my boss, I'm like, if I'm not gonna get promoted on this rig, like send me to another rig. Like I'm not gonna sit here and let my career get thrown away because this guy wants to mess with my life. Like not gonna deal with it.
Yeah. I do. I feel like sometimes I feel like I should just walk away. I should probably work on that.
Yeah, well, there's a lot of negative things that can happen when you do it.
True, but it's better, I guess, than sometimes like me losing control of my emotions and just being then saying something that I really shouldn't or don't mean. Like I know I've had a few like tiffs and fights where I'm just like I say something and I'm like,
oh, I've said some really
should not have said that.
Great. I remember there was one moment where someone said a really crappy comment, and I said an even worse comment back.
Oh, yeah.
And this one thing in my head will stick for me the rest of my life. It's in those moments I got to sit down and say different. Like, you should not say that, instead of decide to argue to try to beat that person. Yeah, right. It's because that whole situation was pretty crappy, and I made it worse by the way I reacted. 100%.
Yeah,
was that you? Do you have a green one back there?
I do.
Okay, so
all right.
you're
So
up.
we're on yellow.
Random.
Which season fits your personality?
Fall.
Fall. Reason why?
I like sweater weather, and I can still go on my motorcycle.
It's fair. I would have to say summer. I feel like summer's pretty bubbly, and I consider myself kind of a bubbly person.
You have a bubbly personality for sure. All right, what piece of advice would you give your younger self if you could?
Oh, if I could give advice, like one piece of advice.
Yeah, one piece of advice.
One piece of advice. I would say probably speak up more. Like I was like during like high school, middle school, like girl clique bullies. It was kind of bad at one point, and I was really quiet about it. And I just kind of took it, or I would see something and I wouldn't say something. And I feel like, because I was just so shy and so scared. When a group of girls starts going after you, you don't want to be the target kind of deal. And I wish I would have spoken up more. Like, I feel definitely more like I am okay calling someone on their BS.
Yeah.
But back then, Nope. I was like trying to like hide and like become the wall practically.
Yeah. I've never been like that, but I definitely can understand it. I would definitely tell my younger self it's okay to cry.
Oh, okay.
Like I spent years when I was sad or whatnot, just shoving it in there and saying, nope.
Trying to do the tough guy
act. And it's not healthy.
No.
It's not healthy at all.
It isn't. I was babysitting this little boy once, and like he skinned his knee. I'm expecting him to like tear up a little bit. I mean, but he's like, I can't cry. And I'm like, why can't you cry? He's like, I'm a boy. And I'm like, oh dear. If you're hurt and you want to cry, that's real bravery too.
Yeah, right. Showing your emotion, being vulnerable in front of people is okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I was just like, this little boy, he's like, he wouldn't cry because he skinned his knee. I was like, oh gosh.
All right, you're up.
I'm up. Okay. Would you rather date someone you love or date someone who loves you?
That one's.
I don't know how to answer that.
That one's okay. Yeah, because it's both. It's a double-edged sword.
Yes.
100%. You know what? I'd rather date someone I love. Because why would I put someone in my life I didn't love?
Yeah. I would have to say that too. Because I feel like the reverse, dating someone who loves you, turns very much into possessive, stalker,
manipulating,
kind of go down that road.
And wasting people's lives.
Yes.
Yep.
Ooh.
Oh, would you refuse to give up? Okay, let's say, what would you refuse to give up even if you were offered $10 million?
$10 million. What would I refuse to give up? Well, Ben. I gotta say,
I literally just thought that.
It's Ben.
Yeah.
It's Ben or the cats.
Cats? No, you get more cats.
No.
You can get rich and get those hairless ones that everybody's crave about.
No, no, I couldn't. They, as much as they're little poopy butts in the morning, I love them, and I love Ben's dopiness. I couldn't imagine my life right now without them.
Yep. Honestly, my daughter Rayleigh, and I wouldn't give up Burley for $10 million. No. This dog literally saved my life.
Yeah.
So
he's.
No one loves you.
Did we just go through the whole?
Yep. Let's go. Start
All
back to
right,
round one.
starting around.
Well, you start with this one.
Start with
'Cause
this one.
then I'll do these ones.
Okay.
That way you have a chance to think about the question.
Oh. I see how you're playing it. All right. How are you creating a life well lived?
Well, a life well lived. That's very what's the word I'm looking for? Personal.
Yeah.
Right? But just bringing smiles to people.
Mm-hmm.
Like when it's the littlest things.
Yeah.
Like the other day, I think it was a couple months ago. I walked into the Casey's General Store,
Okay.
and this guy looked at me and goes, "Are you all right?" I go, "Yeah, I'm fine. Why? What's up?" And he goes, "You're usually more chipper." And I go,
How do you know that?
And like, I don't, there's a couple of people I recognize there. And I'm like, oh no, I'm fine. And it made me realize my attitude and look on life affects people, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like this guy sees me a handful of times a month, and he noticed I wasn't in a good mood. Huh. So I would say, what was the question again?
Is how are you creating a life well lived?
Being happy, right? Doing things that make me happy. And when I wake up, I'm happy. Focusing on myself, focusing on my daughter and stuff like that. Is those
little things.
Yeah, and that's what life is, right? It's little things that, especially in your day.
Yep.
So.
I not to copycat, but like that's one thing that I really like about my career right now is like I get to meet new people and like listen to their stories and enjoy their life and help them realize how great their life is too sometimes. And I really love doing. So it's kind of the same thing where it's like
100%. Yeah, you have a very fulfilling job.
Yeah.
It sounds like. All right. Oh, what is a skill you learned when you were young that you still use today? Oh, we talked about this the other day on the podcast.
Oh, a skill that I learned when I was really young is so I have dyslexia.
Oh, so do I.
I have a minor. And I know, like, especially at the gym, I rename everything. And it's because of my dyslexia. And that was like how I learned to read. Like, how do you spell because?
Because.
Boys eating caramel apples under sleeping elephants. No joke. To this day, that is how I spell because.
That is great. Oh.
And it's like learning, like, because that was something I had my mom and I had a teacher kind of help me realize. They're like, well, you have a mild case, but learning that literally, that's why I call it the walkie-walkie choke.
Yeah.
I can't call it whatever it actually is because I'm just like, no, it's the walkie-walkie because I have to remember to walk around.
Oh, the head and arm choke.
Yeah.
Yeah. I got that. I like that. That's funny. No, I kind of have the same thing because I'm dyslexic and math wise. Like when people ask me a math question, in my head, I break it down in 4 parts.
Okay.
And it's really weird. And I tried to teach my daughter, and she's like, "Stop it." Okay.
I got a math story but continue.
Yeah, but the thing I learned from when I was young is I came from a big family, and we fought about everything, right? So that personality and sticking up for yourself and using my voice, even though it's got me in a lot of trouble, that's what I carried on from when I was young.
Yeah, absolutely. No, my dad tried to teach me his math. It didn't go over well. He actually got into an argument with my 4th grade teacher on how they were teaching division.
Good for him.
Yeah, it was a very awkward student parent teacher conference.
Yeah, I believe it.
So, yeah, that would be that.
Yeah, it's yours.
Okay. Is violence ever acceptable? That's a hard one.
In some cases, I believe eye for eye. 100%. It matters on the situation, of course.
Yeah.
Legally, but yeah, I mean, if you murder somebody, you lost your life. You lost your choice to live, right? If you take someone's life purposely, like, why are we holding on to these people? And that's a really mean thing to say. Like, yeah, people do change. I get that, but you took someone's life, or even, I hate saying stuff like this, but rape. That situation for women it breaks them for a lifetime.
Long time PTSD.
And it's like, I've dealt with people in my life, like important people in my life that went through that, and seeing how they react, seeing them telling me like they hate the way their body feels and stuff like that. It just like, I think rape is the most disgusting thing ever. And honestly, take them to jail and let someone run a train on them. Yeah, like let them know what they did to that person. They should know how
have
that feels.
That control taken away. That's like one thing. Like, I love my murder podcasts.
Mm-hmm.
I love them. I have a hard time when it's the rape. Like, if you've ever heard of the Toy Box Killer, from, I think he's either Arizona or New Mexico. We don't exactly know how many or if he killed anyone, but it was systematic, just constant rape and sodomy, and it's bad. It's dark. That is one cannot, like, that types of episodes, I have to skip them.
Do you? Yeah, I do too. I do too. Like when people make like rape jokes and stuff like that, I get pissed off. Like or when they listen to music that kind of defiles women. Like, the song could be like a joke, whatever, but it's disgusting, especially when people have daughters. It's like, what are you doing? Like, and I look at this guy, I'm like, would you let your daughter listen to this? And she's like, yeah, when she's older. And I was like, no.
Yeah, and that's like the thing that gets me a lot sometimes is, especially when I hear guys talking and everything, I'm just like, okay, if you go on a date, the worst thing that can probably happen to you is you get laughed at, maybe you get your wallet stolen, you're out money on a dinner. The worst thing that happens for like a woman, I can be kidnapped, I can be raped, and I can be murdered. Like, that's the worst. And the disconnect I find so scary and frustrating, and it makes me angry. And then of course I cry. So
I totally get it. I got this little letter to my daughter when she gets old enough, and I might actually do a podcast about it, but I'm going to make sure I tell her in this letter, it's in one part, it says, give everybody your respect, but make sure they earn your trust.
Yes.
Right? You have to earn people's trust. I just like, and I'm the same way, man. It's like, I try to respect everybody, but I don't trust everybody.
Yeah.
I trust very few. Okay. But that one was rough.
Yep. Okay. I guess for me,
you didn't answer. Sorry.
I try to use violence as the absolute last resort, because usually violence never ends. No. Ever. So that, we went down a rabbit hole.
Yep. 100% we did. Do it. Nope. I'm on this one.
Oh, there we go.
Okay. What are you most worried about with the next generation?
Next generation. I really do worry about climate change for the next generation. And I know it's a touchy subject.
I can't. Go ahead.
But I've been Iceland, New Zealand, and I've seen some of the glaciers, and they're like,
New Zealand's glaciers. Sweet,
so amazing,
because it's in between a rainforest.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep. And you hike up, and like when we were there was a park ranger. I don't know what exactly they call them over there, but it was like a park ranger, and he was marking, like, by the way, this is where the ice was last year, and it's like dirt now. And like, I know our next generation, they're gonna have to deal with that. We're trying to deal with that. I know that. But I just worry, like, I hope like my kids can go see, like, I want to take, if I have kids, I want to take them there, see that. And I don't want that to be gone. And then they don't understand, like, well, I've seen photos of it. And I'm like, no, but you don't understand like the actual like majesty of
when
that.
You're 5 miles away and it looks like you're only 20 feet away. Like, it's such an optical illusion.
Yes.
It's so crazy. Like, oh yeah, we got a 5 mile hike. I'm like, it is right there. Like, get real, bud. 2 hours later, it's like, oh my God.
Oh yeah. When my parents and I, we did that, they were like, oh, it's a 5 mile walk. And my parents are not on the healthier side. And they're like, oh, we can do that. And I was like, okay. And we do it. And like, we're like halfway back maybe. And they're just like, I don't know if we can do it. I'm like, we can do it. We're going to have a nice long, like, fancy dinner.
Right. Did you jump in one of the glacier pools?
Not in New Zealand. In Iceland, we did.
In Iceland, you did?
Yep.
Yeah. When I did the New Zealand one, they're like, yeah, bring some swimming trunks and you can jump in the glacier. I'm like, glacier pool. I'm like, okay. And so I had like a European Speedo.
Did you do? Well, please tell me it was American flag. Like,
Oh,
Ben.
no. This was this. I was 22, 21 years old. What are we at? I think it's
Yeah.
Or Europe. Either way, it's going to be asked. What is the best advice you've ever received?
Best advice I've ever received. Honestly, and this actually came from, so I have a development manager who's helping me build my practice, and his, like, the thing that has really stuck with me lately a lot, and I'm it's definitely got to be on the top best advice ever, is life is not an or, it is an and.
Mm-hmm.
And really that just like mind shift. I'm like, oh, I it's like I can lose weight and have a really tasty burrito at Chipotle.
Oh, 100%.
Like,
yeah,
it's not an or. It's like I either can lose weight or I can, eat at Chipotle.
Yeah.
And I don't know why, but it just gave me such a mind shift.
Yeah, no, it makes sense, right?
Mm-hmm.
Mine's pretty simple. I was told don't suck. Simple.
Don't suck.
Yep. Okay, noted. So that's my best advice I've ever been told. That actually stuck with me. Don't suck. So every time I do stuff like this podcast, like I do everything 100%.
Mm-hmm.
Like
Okay.
yeah, right. That's everything I do is to my fullest ability, to my understanding of how to do it at least.
Okay.
And I don't know where Broly's at.
He's hiding. Okay, I think it's my turn.
Yep.
We're on this one, right?
Yep.
Okay. Oh gosh, where's the edge of your comfort zone currently?
I don't have edge.
Yeah, I'm jealous of you now.
I don't have edge.
See,
We'll flip those so we can actually see which one's next.
Oh,
So-
smart. So my comfort zone currently has definitely been like career-wise and trying to expand that and like realizing I do have the knowledge. I know what I'm talking about. Because then again, this kind of comes back to, well, when you're high school, younger, and you have an authority figure, they're usually someone older. And so I'm talking with some folks and they're like, well, da 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 da. And I'm just like, I feel very like deer in the headlights still slightly, but I'm like, no, I know what I'm talking about. I know what I'm doing. I can do this. So that's been the edge for me lately.
Okay.
Very career wise.
I dig it.
Yeah.
If you could instantly be expert at a subject, what would it be?
Any subject.
Yep.
Any subject. Oh.
Jiu-jitsu.
I was gonna say I was like, it's gonna be jujitsu, but is there anything else I want to be like an expert at?
No, that's what we train for, right?
I know.
We want those black belts.
I do. I really want it. But I feel like even as a black belt, it's like, oh, I'm always going to still be learning.
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't matter how high I get.
It's a lifelong journey.
So lifelong. I love it, though. I really do.
You're right there.
Okay. What would you hope would be said in your eulogy? This is very dark.
Yeah.
Like, this is the dark pile.
Yeah. Probably that Matthew, 1, is awesome. 2, had a lot of mistakes. 3, he learned from them.
All right, so everyone watching this right now, please write that down for Matthew's eulogy. Oh, God, what would I hope would be said?
See, that's something you got to think about, though.
I know, because part of me wants to be really snarky and be, like, on the tombstone, like, decided to fight a bear won.
Yeah,
like,
right.
Something really snarky along those
right.
lines. But at the same time, it's like, oh, I hope I have a family. They probably are sad. Want some words of like lived a good life. I don't know. I could go either way on that one.
Yeah, we don't have to answer if it's too much.
Yeah.
We gotta pick up another. You gotta pick another card then.
Okay. Oh, Broly's sad. Describe a time when you let someone down. Oof.
Yeah, I'd say my ex-girlfriend, if we're being honest, and my
Okay.
daughter.
Mm-hmm.
last two most important people that I had in my life. Well, now it's just rarely the most important.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I let her down for sure.
Yeah.
My actions, the way I did things, is what it is.
Yeah. God, that's a hard one because I know I would have to say I have a couple like friends from high school. Like we've had usually like you go high school, then you go to college and you kind of drift apart and stuff. Mm-hmm. Oh my God, that's just too freaking cute. Broly, are you adorable?
Yeah. Just shudder.
Yeah, and he knows he's adorable too. That's a hard thing. But I've had friends that, we drifted apart and I remember thinking to myself, I should reach out to so-and-so, see how they're doing. But I didn't because I was like, oh, I'm too busy with life.
Yeah.
And, a few months later, I see on Facebook, oh, so-and-so passed away.
Ooh.
And I was just like, I should have reached out to them. And so that's like one thing that I've definitely learned is like
keeping in touch,
trying to keep in touch. Like I will awkward call like friends, like people from high school. They're like, oh, hey, I haven't heard from you in like 15 years. I'm like, yeah, I know.
Yeah,
we need to fix that.
That's really funny because I get that a lot actually. Like random friends just randomly calling me. Like I got a buddy from Alaska. He called me. He's like, hey man, what's up? And I'm like, whoa, what is up? And it's something I should probably start doing. I should make a list. Once a month call somebody.
Call somebody. And because like I did that with a friend and she sent me this adorable like happy Halloween card. And she wrote and she was like, I'm so glad you reached out to me. Like I was actually like really needed that.
Oh, really?
And I was just like, okay,
perfect.
I'm learning from my lesson.
Yeah. 100%. What's your favorite quote?
My favorite quote?
I got one. One.
You got one?
Yeah, I got this quote.
All right, I'll answer. I actually have one now that I thought about it. It's something that my grandpa was a huge John Wayne fan.
Okay.
Super huge. And he had this quote up in his garage. Courage is being scared to death, but saddling up anyway.
Yeah.
And that's gotta be my favorite one because it always pops into my head every now and then.
Okay. Mine is, and it was actually on one of my, I can't find it. It was actually on one of my, what are those Chinese fortune cookies?
Okay.
Fortune cookies. And it said, let me think if I can think of this. What's the word about, let your charisma shine so bright that they can't put it out. Something like it was
along those lines.
Along those lines, like let your charisma burn so bright that no one can put it out.
Okay.
I might have actually got that wrong, but the way I just said it sounds pretty good.
Okay, well we're gonna go with it.
Yeah,
that was absolutely the truth. All right. How has peer pressure shaped your life?
I've never had peer pressure.
Oh God. Okay, you're definitely a guy. So.
Yeah, because I literally grew up with people doing drugs and cocaine and weed and all this stuff, and it's like yeah, they were my friends, but I was like, I'm not doing that. You look like an idiot.
Yeah.
And given they were cool, at least I thought they were cool because that's the kind of position I was in when I was growing up. But I would never do it.
Yeah, I definitely. So like as a kid, I had a group of friends. And looking back on it now, they were not friends. They were mean.
Yeah.
They were pretty mean. And but I remember that we would play these games and I would get called names and they'd be like, well, it was pretty much not like openly said, but they're like, well, if you're not friends with us, no one else is going to be friends with you. And that I would stay and so you think about that as a kid. You're just like, oh.
Yeah, you want to be accepted. What was the question again?
How has peer pressure shaped your life?
Oh, okay.
And that definitely, I've had to learn how to get over that. Well, you're being a crap human being and treating me like a crap human being. No, there'll definitely be someone who can be my friend. Yep. I need to get you out of my life. Right. And that is definitely...
something. Yeah.
Oh yeah, even my mother she remembers, she's like, I hated your friends back then. They were such horrible little brats. I was like, Mom.
Yeah, jeez.
Okay.
Would you rather be a star player on a losing football team or ride the bench on a winning one?
I would want to be the star player on the losing team
Absolutely.
because I'd rather try and like participate and try to help my team as best as possible.
Yep, 100%. I agree. Hey, go lay down. Go lay down.
Lay down.
He's getting anxious.
Okay. We'll finish up here, buddy. I promise. All right. What part of your life have you still not figured out?
How to be in a relationship.
Be in a relationship. Okay.
Like I've been in 3, and I push people away. I have a hard time being vulnerable, and just like when things go south, I just like,
Well, they go south.
yeah, let it go south. And
Okay.
it's like I never really fought for any of them in a sense,
Okay.
and it's whatever, learning experience.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. Part that I still haven't figured out. Ooh, I would. It's part I'm starting to figure it out. So I would definitely say I've definitely like career jumped quite a bit in figuring out what I wanted, and like I don't know. I have friends. People are like, oh, I've been in this job for like 6+ years now, and I'm like, the longest I've been in a job is like maybe 3.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
I've been with my company for almost 12 years.
Yeah.
Right.
And so for me, it's kind of like finding the groove.
But the thing about you, that's way better because you're not scared to take a chance with something new.
Yeah.
Like I've been stuck in this job for years looking for something new. And now that I find something I'm really excited about, like,
Yeah.
no, so that's such a positive asset that you have.
True. I've never thought of it that way, but
Yeah.
I definitely was like, I need to like figure out what I want to do for like the rest.
Mm-hmm.
That's both like going to be something of a passion project, but
Yep.
also you got to earn an income.
Yeah. Oh, 100%. And that's why people stay in their jobs for as long as they do.
Yes.
Yep.
They're scared to leave.
Okay. We'll do one more round and
Sounds
then we'll
good.
call it good because
Good.
Broly's being a little butt.
Oh, poor Broly.
Who is someone you really admire?
Someone I really admire. I really would have to say my grandmother. And because she did not have a easy life.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, like grandparents, like, so my grandpa worked telephone poles. Like he would climb up
Yeah,
the
with the old rope
like physically. She worked odd jobs to kind of help keep the bills paid. Like my dad's side of the family, they grew up fairly poor.
Yep.
And she still managed to do all of that, raise 2 kids, do community work, and be still this stubborn German woman who tells me every time that is not how you make sticky buns.
Yeah.
Like she's so stubborn. We always say she's going to live forever. Like she's just too stubborn to die.
Yeah. Until she wants to.
Until she wants to. And
Yep.
so she went through the depression and all of that through the wars. And she still is like not afraid to slap me on my wrist and tell me I am making sticky buns wrong.
Yep. That's funny. Mine is going to be a little bit conceited because
Oh.
I admire myself
Okay.
because
Do
I don't want to live up to other people's standards.
okay.
I want to live up to my standards and I create my own standards.
So you're kind of, how was this said? It was like you're chasing your future self.
yeah, 100%.
Okay.
Yeah. So I don't want to put, like, I definitely take advice from people that but everybody that I've taken, like all the good friends and good mentors I've had in my life, they always all have crappy parts about their life.
Yeah.
So I take everything good for somebody and leave and make it my own.
Okay.
And I work with it. Like I admire myself for failing and getting up. I admire myself for sticking up for myself growing up. And I admire myself for all this other jazz.
Okay.
And like and it is conceited. Maybe it's a little bit narcissist. Maybe
A little
bit. Which a little bit of narcissism ain't bad.
No.
Confidence in yourself, but that's what I might.
Healthy ego.
Healthy ego.
Healthy ego.
Yeah, let's not use that word narcissist.
All right. How do you imagine you'll spend your retirement?
Working.
Oh, no.
No, think about it. If you got a job that you absolutely love.
True. Okay. That side, yes. Like, I love my career now, and I can definitely see myself doing it until I'll be in a walker. Like, I will have a nurse push me into the office.
Yeah.
Hi.
Want my sticky buns?
I should do that. I'll have fresh sticky buns every time. But I definitely see retirement for us now. I can't just say me. I gotta say us. Really just like enjoying the downtime, because
Too much downtime's bad.
well,
Look what happened during COVID.
yes, but I think that like for us, like Ben, he will find concerts like crazy.
Yeah.
Like our summer is.
He needs to go to Sturgis next year. You both need to go to Sturgis next year just for the free concerts.
I have a bachelorette party in Colorado, so I have to do a different year. But yes,
In August?
yeah,
The beginning of August?
I think that's what we're like. It's like late July, early August.
Okay.
I'm sorry. This
Okay.
like they.
Yep. Nope. I get it. I get it.
You can argue with the
No.
brides.
No. We'll not do that.
But Ben, we really enjoy being really active. But I also am like, okay, when we retire, I do want to slow down a little bit.
Yeah.
Just that downtime and like actually enjoy it and not be like, oh, I got to go to work tomorrow.
Yeah. That makes sense. Like motorcycle ride, like I'm hoping I own a business. I'm hoping I have employees where I can just check in on them.
Yes.
And continue to make money.
Yep.
So
work more on a consultant.
Yep.
Kinda.
What are some personal rules that you refuse to break?
Personal rules I refuse to break.
Lay down.
Personal rule number 1. Oh dear. Usually, like if someone texts or calls me, I try to respond as within like 24 hours.
Mm-hmm.
Like it annoys me when like I text somebody and I don't hear from them for like 3 weeks.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, oh, okay, well, I guess that's not important.
Mm-hmm.
Like I don't want to be the person that if someone needs me urgently, that they're not going to call me because they know I'm not going to respond.
Yeah. Right. You want to be available.
Yes. Like obviously to an extent. I mean, if you call me at 2 a.m, I'm probably not going to answer my phone, but I will definitely get back to you around 8 a.m.
Yep.
You'll know that at least. Personal rule number 2. Oh,
nope.
Sorry. I was going to say personal rule number 2. Wash your clothes.
Yeah.
Like I do laundry. It doesn't necessarily mean laundry is going to get folded and put away, but the laundry is clean.
Yeah. My lay down, please. My personal rule is shower. Like I shower maybe twice a day when I'm at home, just because jujitsu and then maybe yoga or something like that.
Definitely. Okay. What do you think is the most damaging modern industry and why?
Oh yeah, that's easily. Oh, you know what? Let me really think about this for a second, because I was gonna say oil, but petroleum is literally in everything.
Yeah.
Everything in this room except my dog is made of petroleum.
Yep.
There's petroleum products.
I remember there was this comedian show. They were like, Mother Nature created dinosaurs and killed dinosaurs, and then Mother Nature created humans to dig up said dinosaurs to get the oil because they want plastic. Yeah. Mother Nature just wanted plastic.
What was the question again?
What do you think is the most damaging modern industry?
The internet.
Social media.
Social media in general. There's a lot of good on it, but there's way too much what's the word I'm looking for? What were you gonna say?
I was gonna say, have you seen the documentary of Don't F with Cats?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
That, like, the access that it gives, and
Oh yeah, some kid committed suicide because they found the wrong kid.
yeah,
Yeah. Everybody feels entitlement to their opinion.
yes,
And I think that's one thing I want to have my daughter grow up knowing that she's not entitled to anything.
yep,
She's got to work for everything.
yeah. That's
Oh, describe your worst date. I actually described this on my last podcast.
well, I can describe my worst date.
Well, I'll describe it too.
Let's see. It ended up being a double blind date.
Ooh, interesting.
Yeah. And she was a college friend. And so she and her husband are there and they're like, oh yeah, we have this friend. I was like, a friend? Okay. It was a blind date. And it was so boring because all he could ask me was, oh, so what's your favorite type of music? Oh, well, I like a lot of different things. Like I've been listening to like a lot of country lately. So I'd have to say right now that's 5 minutes later. So like, what's your favorite music?
Oh, he wasn't paying attention.
No. And I think he asked me that like 8 times.
Really?
Through that dinner. And like I was having conversation with my friend and her husband. And then, there'd be a lull. So what's your favorite type of music? And I'm like, I just answered this 5 times for you now.
Yeah. So last month, I went on this date and it's actually really funny now. I was sitting there with the date and all of a sudden the waitress comes up and she puts a drink in front of me and she goes, this is from, and says it's my ex's name. And I'm like, and right away I was like, huh? And the date I had is like, oh, you must know somebody here. And I look at the bar and she is not there. And I'm like, weird. So the rest of the date, first I was like, hey, I'm like, the only person I know with that name is my ex. And she's like, oh, is she here? I go, no. But she kept looking around for people. It's like, is that your ex? I'm like, no. And I'm like, well, she could at least buy you one too. Like, how rude.
You're right.
But it really ruined my date for the fact is, all I thought was
Your ex.
Yeah, it's like, why would she do that? Why would she so be rude? Why is she messing with me? And it was like, but then again, I don't know if it was actually from her, right? Because
True.
no one was there. They just said it could have been. There was some girls that talked to me earlier, and one of their names could have been Jesse. I don't know. I mean, my ex's name. Oops.
Bleep that out. Bleep that out.
Yeah. But it was just really interesting.
Weird. Yeah. That would mess with me.
Yeah, it did. For sure. If it was her, it was such a power move.
I mean, that's a boss move to do.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie.
Oh, I'm sorry, Broly. I just kicked him. Oopsies. Tell me about a time that you fought for yourself. I feel like this is gonna be easy for you.
Fought for myself. Interesting. Well, I guess I don't know how to answer that.
Really? I'm a little surprised right now.
Yeah.
I'm surprised.
So one time in high school, beginning of class, my gym teacher is like, roll out, calls roll out. And my brother Maxim was actually in my gym class. I think he was a freshman and I was a senior. And the teacher called my brother's name. And my brother's like, here. And he goes, shut up. And I'm like, what? So we went in, so I was just pissed that whole class. So I started taking like a baseball or something, just throwing it against the wall as hard as I could, catch it, just back and forth. And he told me to knock it off. I look at him, I go, no. And I started doing it. And he goes, Matthew, knock that off. I go, no. So I start throwing it. And he comes up to me and goes, what's your problem? I'm like, I'm sick and tired of you giving my brother shit. And he looks at me and I'm just 18-year-old kid, adult. And he looks at me like, do you want to take this to my office? And I went to the door, held it. I go, after you.
Oh.
And we went in there and we're bickering at each other and all this stuff. And, so all my brother sees really is me sticking up for him and causing a scene and all this. But after it was all said and done, I realized I'm a kid. Like, I'm going to lose this battle.
Yeah.
Like, I was smart enough when I was younger. Every time I caused a scene, I made sure to reverse it.
Uh-huh.
Right. So I looked at him like, you know what? I'm sorry, but you literally treated my brother completely unfairly, blah this, blah that.
Mm-hmm.
And like, I didn't get in trouble. Life went on. But I kind of feel bad because my brother, you know, I think he looked up to me growing up, and he saw me be the tough guy.
Uh-huh.
But no one ever saw me apologize, back up a little bit, because I knew better, because I was a kid.
Yeah.
And I would have lost that battle.
Okay.
So that was one time I stuck up for myself, and my brother too. Like, you know, my brother is part of me growing up.
Yeah.
So yeah.
So I also have a teacher.
Yes.
Teachers.
They need to be paid more.
Oh, they do. They definitely do, with some of the stuff they put up with. But anyways, so it was middle school, and you know the whole what is it, 412, like Hitler's birthday, smoke marijuana. I forget what.
420.
420. Thank you. You can tell that I do not pay attention.
Yeah. No. Fair enough. Fair enough.
But so that day it's middle school, and we had like early morning band, early morning orchestra. And so I was just getting done, and the regular school day was starting. And so we were walking, me and my friend, she was in band, I was orchestra. We were walking back, and she goes, "Hey, I need to go to the bathroom. Can you come with me to the bathroom?" And I'm like, "Okay, that's weird. Sure. Whatevs." So we go into the girls' bathroom, and then we go in there, and there's a bunch of other girls in there. I'm like, this is weird. I'm really naive. I don't know what day it is.
Yeah.
I will admit, I lived under a rock.
Yeah.
So we come out, and the next thing I know, there's the school officers. They're like grabbing us by our collars and dragging us to the side. And they're like, "You girls have to stay right here." And I'm like, what is going on? Like, what did we do? We walked into a bathroom.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so every girl anyone that came, it was just the girls. Any girl that came out of the bathroom, they got pulled aside. Not the guys, just the girls. And so my friend goes, "I'm so sorry." And I'm like, what is happening? Next thing you know, we're getting taken to the principal's office, where they're like sitting us in like separate rooms. And I'm just sitting there, I'm so not aware of what the hell is going on.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so I finally, I see my friend, and she goes, "They think we're smoking marijuana in there." And I was like, "Why?" She goes, "Don't you know what day it is?" I'm like,
Tuesday.
"Yeah, it's Tuesday." And so all of a sudden, like, the principal comes in, and they're like, "Do you girls know why you're here?" And I'm like, "No." And he's like, "Don't you be smart aleck with me." I'm like, "I'm sorry, principal." I don't even remember his name now. I'm like, I walked into a bathroom. And he goes, "Well, da-da-da-da-da." And I'm like, "Well, if that's the case, then why weren't you grabbing the guys?" And it was just like dead silent.
Really?
Yeah. And I remember that because they had already just called our parents to come pick us up because they were going to expel us or like suspend us for the day. And yeah, it went downhill. And like, I like apologized. I was like, "You know what? I'm sorry. I didn't know what day it was. That's not what we were doing. You can drug check me right now if you want." But I walked into a bathroom, and you only grabbed the girls. You didn't grab the guys.
Yep.
That kind of was the beginning of me not trying to hide slightly in the wall. So it's
good that it happened.
Yes.
Yeah. Very cool. All right. If you could have any superpower, what superpower would you choose?
Yes. Control the weather.
Oh, you want to be like Storm, a little Storm Witch.
I am so selfish. I want to create a snowstorm, so you can't go to work or you can't go to school. And then as soon as everything's closed, make it nice and sunny so I can have a beautiful day to myself. I am so selfish.
I want to be able to orb.
Orb.
Orb is, I guess that's the way my daughter's mother used to say it. Transport.
Okay. Like
right?
teleportation?
Yeah, teleport. There we go.
Okay.
Teleport. So I could just, I'm at work. And then I could be home every night, even though I work out west.
Okay.
And then
that would be cool.
And then I wouldn't have to get flights. I just go, I'm in Bora Bora.
That would be a good power.
Yep. Oh, you're robbing me? 1 second. See ya. But then again, would I go down the south route and rob people and stuff like that? With power like that, who knows what you do?
Yeah. Yeah. But no, I'm very selfish. I just want to create a nice
Which is all right.
day
Which is
for
all right.
myself.
Or you could, so you could always go to the beach, realize it's busy, bring a storm through,
Everyone clear out.
bring it out.
Bright and sunny.
You got your spot. I like that.
See,
There's potential
there's
there.
potential. I do if there's a hurricane coming, maybe I can stop the hurricane.
Yeah.
Try and be a superhero a little bit, but
Cool down the world.
just a little bit. All right. What's the skeleton in your closet?
Pick another one.
Yeah. How do you intentionally upset others?
Ooh. Kill with kindness.
I was gonna say the same thing.
Yep.
I
love when people yell at me and stuff. I'm like, cool, dude.
So I use the excuse before they can. And kind of kill them with
Yeah.
oh, I'm really busy, da 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 da. So I'll be like, hey, listen, I wanted to meet up with you. You're probably really busy right now, actually, with holidays coming up. But let's go get some coffee here the following week.
Yeah.
And then they can't use that excuse. And I just do that. And I just be super polite about it. And I love people get so frustrated.
Oh, I like when people there's been multiple times in my life where people snap at me or whatever. And it's like, okay. Whatever. Do. Like I remember one time I was at work and my relief was just yelling at me, screaming in my face, and I'm just drinking my coffee, and he was a roid dude, and so that's probably why he was freaking out. But I remember he smacked my coffee out of my glass, and I'm gonna go, I need to go get another cup of coffee, and I just walked away.
Oh, that's evil, but good.
Yeah. I just wish I could keep that cool with in my personal life, right? It's so easy when it's not a personal thing. It's just a work situation. I can just brush it off. But when it's a significant other, my daughter, and it's really hard because it's so easy to get upset when you're been with somebody for so long. What is the thing that creeps you out? Wait. What's the thing you like that creeps other people out?
Murder. I love murder podcasts, but that actually creeps people out. I remember this because it was my friend's wedding, and so we were getting ready, and I don't even know how this conversation came about, but all of a sudden they were talking about chloroform. And I'm like, oh, that doesn't work. And they're like, what? I'm like, yeah. In the movies, if you have a rag of chloroform and you stick it to someone's face, they don't just drop unconscious. It's 7 minutes.
You got to hold it there.
You got to hold it there.
Yep.
Unless you have an extremely high concentration, at which point you're also going to pass out.
Yep.
And everyone was like, why do you know this? Are you going to chloroform? I'm like, no, I listened to this podcast and
yeah, I'm learning.
I know I got 7 minutes to try and defend myself.
Right. That's actually good information.
It is, but the hairstylist, the makeup artist, the photographer, they all looked at me like, who the is she gonna murder? Is she kidnapping somebody?
I like that a lot. That's funny. What was the question again? The creep people out. I really like ghost videos, off YouTube, real ghost stuff. I actually met a girl that she actually came over and she sat and watched ghost videos for me for 2 hours. So I'm just you are awesome. She was, it was great. But most people are like, are you kidding me right now? You really watching this? I go, yeah. I gotta fall asleep. How else do you sleep unless you watch ghost videos? Life, dude.
I can't. We can't say much because I will fall asleep to murder podcasts.
Yeah,
and
it's comforting, right?
Documentaries. Yeah.
Yep.
2020 sound. Yep. All right. What are the daily rituals you swear by and think everyone else should explore too?
Ooh, meditate. Because that's what my praying every morning. My rosary is my meditation. It's what I get when I sit there. I think about my life. I think about what I need to do. I pray for the best for people in and out of my life. Just meditation. Really take time and really explore your mind.
Yeah, I'm kind of on the same lines. I like to journal. Yep. And I write down.
I agree with that because I journal too.
Yeah, and I even if it's just a sentence, I will just write down like a good thing, something that I felt like could work on, or like just like if I have a stressful day, just writing what made me stressful, and like just having that as a form to like get it all out.
Yep. Totally agree. What would you rather experience, the beginning of the planet Earth or the end of the planet Earth?
All right.
Okay, but to think about it, they're both very violent.
Yes. Very violent. And as soon as you said that, it made me think, shoot, what's his name? It's a song, and I know Ben is already thinking about it the second he'll hear this. Cardboard boxes.
Cardboard boxes?
Cardboard boxes. It's like, live with you in a cardboard castle. And it's all about like the world is ending, like there's zombies attacking, but because we love each other so much, I'll live with you in our cardboard castle and we'll fight until the end of the day.
Funny. So you'd want to see the end.
I don't want either, to be quite honest.
Well,
But
you gotta choose one.
All right, you know what? I'll do the end because I'll live with Ben in the cardboard castle. That's the answer.
I would agree. Is the end of times with being with people you love.
Yeah.
I think that's very poetic. Yeah. Ooh, last card.
Last card.
Hopefully
it's a good one. You're going to love this. All right. If people came with a warning label, what would yours say?
Oh, emotionally unavailable.
I told you it was a good one.
Emotionally unavailable.
Emotionally unavailable. Yeah.
Yep. 100%.
Just making it hard. You got to love with a dog.
Oh, this little mutt saved my life. Hey, we're almost done. I'm gonna take you outside.
Yeah.
Okay, keep going.
Keep going. Yeah. Oh, my warning label. Sporadic giddiness.
Giddiness.
Just get ready.
Yeah. That's good. That's good too.
Yes, yeah.
Okay, I gotta keep these separately. So I want to have because I like to have Ben on here and do the same thing.
Yes. Okay.
Well, do you enjoy this? I thought this was fun.
This was fun. I liked it.
So
Definitely learned some about you.
yeah, that's the whole point, right? And since this is a podcast basically for my daughter, I'll take that.
Okay.
And she can learn from me, right? My thoughts and stuff. And I think these cards are
Gonna help.
pretty good. But since you're one of my ride or dies, you get a coin.
Thank you.
Yeah.
What do I got here? Ride for the ones you deserve to be in your life. The love that treats you with love, kindness, and respect, for they are the ones worth dying for. Oh, thank you.
You're welcome.
I don't have a gift for you.
I invited you here. This was.
I get to spend time with Broly. That's my gift.
Yep. You can have them. You can't.
I was gonna say, do you want a cat in
No,
return?
absolutely not. Absolutely not. But yep, thank you for listening to our podcast. Well, my podcast with my co-host, my guest host, I guess would be the way to say it.
Yeah,
Guest host or
Guest
just guest?
host?
Or just guest. My guest, Katie Anderson. Hey. So now I always got to think about one thing. Train hard, do good, be kind. Love you.
Bye.